Good afternoon, and thank you for returning to join us for this panel on inequalities in urban spaces. Again, my name is Maggie Hicken, and I'm on faculty at the Institute for Social Research. And this panel on urban inequalities includes 3 scholars, and I might even say scholar activists, as they each use evidence to promote social justice from different but interrelated fields. Our first speaker is Mark Rosenbaum, the director of the Public Counsel Opportunity Under Law Project, an organization whose goals are to protect the legal rights of the vulnerable, marginalized, and underserved members of society. Prior to joining the Public Counsel in 2014, he spent 4 decades with the American Civil Liberties Union of Southern California, most recently as chief counsel, and was its legal director for over 10 years. He's been the principal counsel on several landmark cases, including regarding immigrants' rights, educational inequities, voting rights, and discrimination. And he currently teaches law at the University of California, Irvine, but also spent more than two decades as professor of law here at the University of Michigan. Presenting second is Paul Mohai, who is professor of environmental justice in the School for Environment and Sustainability here at the University of Michigan. His work focuses on environmental justice, public opinion and the environment, and influences on environmental policy making. His research has helped set the foundation for our knowledge on the disproportionate environmental burdens between communities within low-income communities and communities of color. For example, it was nearly 30 years ago that he co-organized a scientific conference with his colleague, Dr. Bunyan Bryant, and was credited, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency credited that conference along with one other event to bringing the concept and the issue of environmental justice to the EPA's attention. And he continues to build on this foundation to clarify the contribution of environmental inequalities to health inequalities. Finally, presenting third is Abigail Sewell, who is assistant professor of sociology at Emory University. She focuses on the political economy of racial health inequalities, the social construction of racial health care disparities, and the quantitative approaches for studying racial inequality and structural racism. In particular, her work has begun to shed light on the collateral consequences of structural and cultural racism marked by disproportionate policing of non-white Americans. Since becoming a faculty member, Dr. Sewell has traveled throughout the U.S. speaking on these linkages, the factors that link systemic power differentials, systemic power inequalities to the racial inequalities in policing, and then the racial inequalities in health. Furthermore, she develops innovative approaches, methodological approaches to study racial inequalities to better identify potential intervention points. As with other panels, each speaker will present their work for about 20 minutes, and then we'll have time for question and answer.